Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. We're going to have a little bit of fun today as we're going to have two coaches come on at the same time. They're going to be battling for the city championship this upcoming Friday at Breeze-Stevens Field, kickoff at 7 o'clock. And it also just happens to be the CW57 Sports Game of the Week, the Madison Bowl, which you can see right here on CW57 Saturday at 4 or Sunday at 1:30. Joining us right now, we have Steve Erato of Madison East and Scott Swanson of Madison La Follette. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for covering the game.
So for some of our viewers that might not be up to date with how your teams are doing, can you give us an update on the season so far, respectively?
Right now, Madison East is 4-3. Just got a win Friday against Beloit. We stumbled the last couple weeks, but 4-3 overall. Better than where we've been in the past. We're pretty happy with where we are right now.
La Follette, we're sitting at 5-2. Just came off a tough loss against a very good Verona team. We've clinched a playoff berth, but still trying to get more.
Okay, now talk a bit about your upcoming opponent. I know you guys aren't going to divulge too much sitting next to each other, but maybe some of the keys of the game and what's going to be able to help your teams come out with a W this Friday night.
La Follette's big. They're fast. They're physical. They have really good offense, really good athletic quarterbacks, some playmakers on offense, and then defensively, they're tough. They're big, and we've struggled in the past moving the ball on them, so we expect another defensive battle with them as well because they play well. Scott does a great job with his program, so it'll be tough, and hopefully we can play fast offensively and move the ball and keep the sticks moving and keep their offense off the field. That's our plan.
Our plan is to try and do the same to them, to try and keep their offense off the field. They obviously have a very dynamic offense, some great receivers, a good quarterback, tough running back this year as well. So offensively, we would like to be able to move the ball, be able to run the ball, keep our defense fresh. When they do have to play, they got to get out there and they're ready to go.
Now, Scott, I know you had to deal with homecoming festivities last week, being able to keep those kids to be able to have fun yet because they are high school students, but also be prepared for the game. And Steve, that is a challenge you are facing this week, as is homecoming for East. Can you guys share with us a little bit about how you're able to balance that between letting the students have fun and enjoy those festivities and also being ready for a big game coming up?
Yeah, we try to focus on this week that the homecoming festivities are for the rest of the students, and our main job was to play well on Friday night. And at points we did, but overall we didn't really get the job done last week. Not necessarily saying it was because of the homecoming festivities, but it's tough to keep everybody focused, for a five-day span, and end it with a great game on Friday.
And we'll find out this week what the distractions are. We want our kids to obviously embrace homecoming, have fun with it, but at the same time, when school gets out, we have practice for a couple hours, and then we have the game on Friday, along with the pep rally and the parade or whatever we're doing. But we got to remember what our job is this week, and that's to play well against La Follette.
Now, aside from being a conference game on Friday night, it's also very important for the city. It is the city championship game, and as I said, we're also going to be covering that for CW57. Can you tell us what the city championship means for your teams, your programs, and the community?
Well, for us, it's big. It's one of our goals every year too, is try to win the city. We have never been in this position before since I've been here. To be 2-0 in the city is big for us, but we always tell our kids about the history and tradition of Madison football and how strong it is with all of our programs now, and it's fun to be able to compete, for the championship. It's really fun for us to compete against La Follette because we share the same side of town, which we think our side of football is pretty good, both sides, La Follette and East, so it's going to be fun going up against La Follette.
Yeah, we talked day one about our first main goal is always to win the city. We've been fortunate enough the last 2 years to be able to do that. But we definitely have a different challenge on Friday night. We've had the city championship clinched up at this time each of the past few years. And so we got to come out ready to play on Friday. But obviously it's a great thing for city football for so many teams to still be in the hunt for the playoffs and in the hunt for the championship this late going into the season.
And as you guys mentioned, your side of town is playing some pretty good football, so I want to ask Steve, if you can give us kind of your thoughts on what Scott is doing over at La Follette and some of the things that program is doing very well, I'd like to hear that.
Well, first of all, we have a ton of respect for Scott and La Follette and what they do with their program. Very good defensively. They have been since I've been here in the last 4 years and watched them on tape. It hasn't changed. And just what they do with their offense the last couple of years, with Copus last year, now with Julian Patton at quarterback. They do some great things with some special athletes that they have, and it's just a credit to what kind of coaching staff they have and the kind of coach Scott is. And they're able to adjust with their personnel, and they're playing great football, and they're a great opponent. So we have a big challenge for us Friday. But a ton of respect for both Scott and his program, and hopefully we can play well on Friday and get the win.
Scott, I want to ask the same question of you about Steve and his Madison East team.
Yeah, it's I've told him this before, that we were in the same spot about 5 or 6 years ago, and you don't go from a 1-win season or a 0-win season to making the playoffs in 1 year, and just the plan that they've put in place and to stick to it, to keep the coaching staff as much together as you can, and to get the kids to buy in. They're obviously doing a great job to keep improving every year.
And that is the city championship game that is coming up this Friday night at 7 o'clock, and that'll be held at Breese-Stevens Field. CW57 will be out there covering it. It will be the Madison Bowl for us, and you can see that right here on CW57 on Saturday at 4 or Sunday at 1:30. That is Steve Erato of Madison East and Scott Swanson of Madison La Follette. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be right back with more of the sports news in just a moment.